Hey guys, and welcome to Native Eats. This is my lovely friend Allie. Today we're going to have a discussion, and so we're going to talk today about corn. So we're going to try to be serious for a few seconds.
Try to be serious.
So no, today I want to talk to you about how I got on to being corn free and why. And so I stopped eating corn like entirely, I guess maybe probably 8-10 years ago. And that was because I realized that humans don't digest corn. Our teeth rot out. Animals don't digest corn. What's the average life expectancy of a cow?
Eating corn. Okay, you told me 100 something days. 180?
It's 180 days. It's 180 days is for the life expectancy of a cow. The cow normally lives around 20 to 35 years or something like that. So I think it could be even more than that. Some farmers might be watching this going, wait a minute, my cow's 49. And if so, that's okay, because that's not what this is about, the life expectancy of a cow. But my point is my point is that 180 days is way far off of even 25 years.
Yeah.
So that's not good. Corn, same for pigs. Like farmers, when they want to fatten up their animals, they give their animals corn. And so I realized that I didn't want to be an animal experiment a long time ago. Yeah. I realized that, when watching a lot of those archaeological shows, and I know this is kind of old school because I don't know that people actually watch like Nat Geo and stuff anymore. And I haven't as much. That's why I say that too, because I haven't. I'm guilty of not. But I did a lot, and they used to have really cool. It's probably because they used to have really cool shows on, and they don't really anymore. Mm-hmm. They really don't. Like the cable channels, the regular cable channels, they used to have much more educational shows on, and I feel like now it's like Shark Week all the time and stuff like that, which is great and all, but they used to have really in-depth stuff about archaeological finds and like real information, not like just acting or stuff for entertainment.
Right.
And so I used to watch a lot of those archaeological shows, and one of the shows I was watching about like the culture, a culture that ate a lot of corn. They always knew when their corn was part of their diet because their teeth would be all rotted out and stuff. And then they would have other like intestinal results to that because you don't digest corn. And we won't talk about how we all know we don't digest corn. Our body just goes eh. But the problem is though our body will take bad things. Your body will be a crackhead if you let it. If you give it the tools, it will do it. And so that's the whole point, is you don't want to give your body the tools to convert everything into sugar and then therefore like a souped up like sugar too that causes ailments, diabetes number 1, and then so on and so forth. So then that led me, so then I stopped the corn altogether from just that little bit of knowledge. But then, I started doing even more research because I realized that it was kind of hard to cut corn out of, entirely, because you love nachos and you love, personally, I love Mexican food. And I love tacos and I love nachos. I probably love nachos more than anything. So that's like where I started going, okay, I need to figure out how, what more about corn. So I think I gave you this question already. Who's the most obese country in the world?
Okay, we talked about it and we thought it was Mexico.
Yeah, I had thought that it was based on some old research, but things change all the time. And you have to, constantly be updating your knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
we should have known.
Well, I actually, so anyway, so I updated my knowledge, and the results are in. The most obese country in the world is
us.
America! No, but no. And so second to that. Listen, we're Americans. We can handle this. A second to that is Mexico, right? So we're right in that it is second. And this is a Market Watch study from May 29, 2017. So the percentage of obesity in the U.S. is 38.2%.
Wow.
And the percentage of Mexico is 32.4%. And they project that we will reach 50% by 2030. Okay, so you always want to weigh out the good and the bad, right? Some cultures say, hey, being chunky, it means that you are wealthy. Well, unfortunately, not in this country anymore.
Yeah.
Because it just means that you eat the American diet.
It's actually really cheap to get foods with corn products.
Everything, yeah.
Those are the cheapest foods.
It is.
It's for a reason.
So then it brings you to so then the obesity is a problem because it's becoming to where 1 in 3 Americans have some kind of cancer, diabetes, ailments, heart block, failure, high cholesterol. I mean, you name it. There's millions of ailments that I believe are related to what you're ingesting. I'll call that the umbrella because you could be ingesting really good food, but you're taking a bunch of chemicals.
Yeah.
So I don't want to just say it's what you're eating because it's really what you're ingesting on your organic body. You have to look at that as a whole.
Yeah.
Your body, your skin is the largest organ, right? In your body. I don't know if you know that fun fact, but it is your skin is the largest organ on your body. So you even have to, you got to consider, what am I rubbing on my skin? What am I ingesting as a whole? Because then I say to myself, I want to make a splurge, and I want, and you had brought up in an earlier corn discussion we had about organic corn.
Yes.
And whether or not, I forget what we were talking about, but
I just mentioned, we were talking about how eating the corn, but we were talking about how eating GMO corn is just turning into crap in our bodies. And I was like, well, it's actually just crap turning into crap in our bodies because the GMO is already making it crap.
Yeah.
If it was organic corn, it's still
converts to
turning into sugar in our bodies.
Yeah.
It's still better.
It's that. Yeah. So good point that if you get organic, at least you're not having the GMO aspect. Theoretically, they say that organic is supposed to be non-GMO.
Yeah.
But anyway, so if you're getting that and you want to make a splurge or whatever, and you can get some, and you really need those nachos, you get some organic. They do have a lot of organic chips nowadays that you can buy, the tortilla chips. And and maybe you don't. Maybe you just say, hey, I'm gonna just splurge a little bit on that wagon too. But just don't make it your everyday. Mm-hmm. Don't make it your everyday. Don't make it your frequent.
Yeah, it's occasional, with your shepherd's pie that we had with the corn organic.
That has organic.
That was organic. Yeah, but it was like a splurge.
Yeah, even because we had it organic and it was whole. Even though we know that it doesn't digest well, and that we're probably going to notice that. And
have shepherd's pie. So.
Yeah, point. But and then the other thing, that we're going to talk about is the byproducts of the corn. And that's something that is all the hidden corn. So I was shocked by the results of this. And I'm a bit, and I'm not saying that I'm like an ingredient mad scientist. Because I'm the type of person that I will sit in the aisle and I am going to read and Google that ingredient. And I don't care what anybody thinks about me. If I want to know what epi-skepi schnitzel is, and it's in a cookie that I really, really want, and it's got almond flour and dark chocolate chips, but they got epi-skepi schnitzel in it. So then I'm gonna Google it, and then I'm gonna go, dang it! I knew epi-skepi schnitzel was not good. I knew that. So anyway, so the byproduct. So here, let me just go down the list real quick. It's huge. It's this big. Corn flour, corn meal, corn gluten, corn flakes, etc. Next, Cornstarch, highly, highly, highly refined. Cornstarch should not be eaten. It should be used as a cleaning.
Wow.
Or I guess you can use it, because I was thinking. That's how I think.
I like it.
Because I was thinking cornstarch too is also good for like the garage if you need it, maybe for bugs or different things like that.
Yeah.
Maybe your children want to do like a school experiment with like, they do like cornstarch and like some other thing and it explodes or something like that.
Like making slime or something.
That's it, slime.
Yeah.
Good for that. But don't ingest cornstarch in general. It's like high fructose corn syrup. So let me move on because we can address these. I had to stop there. And then we've got corn syrup saying and high fructose corn syrup. Then we have dextrins, IN, dextrose, maltodextrins, fructose, crystalline fructose, hydryl triacol, ethanol, which we're familiar with that one, free fatty acids, maize with a Z, zane, and sorbitol. Yeah, these are all really, really, really highly refined corn byproducts. Sneaky little devils, these byproducts, because some of these are very familiar to you if you read labels, like maltodextrin and dextrose and corn syrup and because that's in ketchup, a lot of ketchups. And honestly, you would think that corn syrup, because it's been banned in a lot of countries, wouldn't be in so much of our foods still, but it's in a lot. It's in almost all candy.
Yeah.
You're hard pressed, and you better bring out your bucks, your Paco bucks, if you want to eat some decent candy, chocolate that's not corn syrup.
Yeah.
And you better believe I'm willing to pay for it. Get out. It's chocolate, people. Just kidding. Keep it cheap, keep it cheap. No, it's not that good, right? Anyway, so, I wanted to cover the maltodextrin. The maltodextrin is the one that's like in all your chips.
Yeah.
And that one is the one that, I've even splurged on because I hate to admit that I like Cheetos. But of course I wouldn't eat the Cheeto brand. I would eat organic, Barbara's Cheetos or something with natural blue cheese. And those are good, actually. Organic, you can get the organic ones, you can get the GMO, because they do have the organic and the GMO ones. But they usually have maltodextrin in them or something, I don't know if that brand has maltodextrin, I don't want to say that, but a lot of it, sometimes they do, and I always say, well, it's corn and it's not good.
Right.
But once in a while, that one, not all the rest of these, And it's not. And that's the addictive part of the chip. That's the part that they, it's like, does the potato chip need the maltodextrin? You think?
No.
Of course not.
No.
She's like, no. Because if we were at home, we wouldn't like start rummaging for the pantry.
Yeah, we're like, oh wait, we have to sprinkle the maltodextrin.
Allie, get the maltodextrin.
There won't be chips.
You run to the store. Get a thing of maltodextrin. No. Go to the neighbor's house.
Can we
borrow a cup of maltodextrin? Please. So, that's the part where it's the science of keeping you back at that chip aisle.
Yeah.
To buy those chips. So, that's where if you cut out, and so going back to giving yourself a plate of nachos if you really need it. Some of you might be looking at me and saying, I don't even need corn. And I think I love you.
Yeah.
I love you. I'm giving you a hug. Because if you can do that, you should. You really should. I mean, it's the best. It's for the best. It's not you, it's me. That's why we're breaking that corn. But so if you can do that, it's for the best. But if you can't, and you are like me, secretly, and you would like to have a plate of nachos once in a while, even organic nachos that you make or something, then you don't have to feel too bad because you didn't eat any of this stuff that snuck into everything because you start reading your labels You don't eat maize anymore like you used to. You were hard up on that maize. And then all of a sudden you were like, I can break this habit. Maize. So then, that's the long and the short of corn. And corn is something that, of course, like it's a lot of people, like, if you want to play devil's advocate and be like, well, corn saved our nation, because I don't remember if there was a time that it did. I think it did, actually. Maybe it saved a culture or two. I know potatoes did.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's why I eat potatoes. I can't go paleo. I can't go paleo because it saved a culture. No, I think corn was, I should probably, we should probably look it up and see if there's any, somebody's looking at me going, of course, seriously. But that doesn't mean that it makes it okay even still, I think you have to just look at the end result of what we just discussed, mm-hmm. and look at the facts, and you can say that about potatoes too, and paleo people don't eat potatoes, and there you go, and they've decided that, hey, it saved a culture, but it still doesn't make it okay. Yeah. Right? It doesn't make it okay that crack saved that culture. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I do eat potatoes here and there. But I don't like to eat potatoes all the time. And but corn I just feel like is a little bit harsher on the body, mm-hmm. And so that's why this discussion is necessary, to go over through native eats. And so that leads us to the end of this discussion about corn. So, you know the drill. If you like us, comment, subscribe. Yes. And if you don't like us, comment, subscribe. Yes. Only say nice things. Be fake. Pretend like
comment about how much you like us.
Yeah. Pretend like you like us. But thank you guys for coming and seeing us today on the corn discussion and hanging out with me and Allie. Yes. And salute to having native eats.
Yes.
We'll see you guys next time.